Welcome to another episode of Midlife Moxie. I'm Gail.
And I'm Jen.
And boy, do we have a good one today. We're probably going to make some people very happy and make some upset, Jen.
Well, nothing feels good. Nothing feels better when you're told you're dressing kind of old.
I think, and the topic, guys, is, looking at your style, what's really aging you. Because I
Yeah.
think a lot of women look in the mirror and they feel old and they have trouble identifying what decision they're making or what thing they're doing that's actually making them look old. And when we
Yeah.
say old, we're not saying look age appropriate. We're saying look older than you are, look in a way you don't feel. If you're looking in the mirror and it doesn't feel like you and you think, who's that old woman? That's what we're talking about because there's absolutely nothing wrong with aging. And Jen and I are both doing it at the speed of light to be sure.
Right?
Um,
Yeah.
but we're going to do it well, is our plan. Why is my camera crooked today? Y'all don't want to see me crooked. I know it's bad enough to see me. And I left my earrings upstairs. So here I am.
You know what? You have a pass because you were always like extraordinarily dolled up. And when we see each other side by side on video, I'm kind of like, hmm.
We just have different style personas. I think people like to see that, and I think we can acknowledge that. Also, it's Saturday morning, and that's not usually a time that you and I work.
Definitely not. No, we've got just a lot going on
Interrupting our
personally.
week, so but we didn't want you guys to miss out. And Jen, I have a big news flash today to share with you and
Please
our audience.
tell me.
I actually met viewer number three.
Oh, no.
One of the
Wait,
three.
wait. They
One of the
exist.
three. Yeah. She
Stop.
said she signed up for styling services. So I was having a Zoom with her and she said, I'm that third viewer. And I was
Wow.
laughing so hard. So we the three are out
Maybe,
there.
maybe we have a fourth one out
There
there.
could be, could
Show
be. Share
us
with your
yourself.
friends, and we can get 4 and 5 going on this great podcast. So let's dive in. And
Yes, yes, yes.
being that color is one of our favorite things to talk about in the world, let's talk about how color might be aging you, Jen.
Oh, please. It's my favorite conversation to have. You know that, right?
And
So,
I'm going to let you go first on this one.
oh my gosh, yeah, because a lot of this is going to absolutely be Gail because she's super smart about style and all the things. But color, that is
Jen,
my jam.
expert.
So, wrong colors can definitely age you, and this is how. When you're wearing a color, so if you are someone that has warm undertones and you are wearing colors like gray and black and blue, some of the blues, you're wearing colors that are just not right for you. You're going to start bringing out that blue under your eyes, lines in your face because you're a person's eye is trying to make sense of this disharmony and it's going to find the blue and the gray and the black in your features. Definitely making you look more tired, definitely aging you. The other thing that can age you is wearing something that is just too dark for you. So many beautiful women, as they're getting older, still are maybe leaning more towards wearing black still, but their hair is like a lighter color, and black just does the same thing. It can just really feel heavy and really tire you out. So, right there off the cup, those things are going to absolutely age you. Make sure you're wearing colors that are in harmony with you. And so I'm just going to do a plug right now. If you don't know what your colors are, especially if your hair is going gray and you're not feeling it anymore, oh please, please, please come and get a signature color analysis with us. It's what we do. It's
The
what we
Jen
do.
Bags is known for being the expert on graying hair and your color analysis in the industry. If you Google color analysis with gray hair, you're going to find Jen. She is known as an expert on this.
And I'm
And
just going to say one more thing, and thank you, Gail, for that. But like my mom is 86 this month, 86. But if you met her, you would guess more like 70. She's very vibrant. And she has these kind of bluish, greenish, pale eyes, really, really pretty. Last time I went down to visit her, she was wearing almost the exact same color in a sweater, and she just lit up. Gorgeous. So we are not talking about not looking old or older. That is just part of human existence. But 86-year-old woman, and she just looks lit up with the right
yeah,
color.
we're talking about looking your best because I think you really hit on something there. As we age, some of our coloring for some people can fade, like your eyes can become a little less bright.
Yeah.
teeth can tend to yellow, which
Mhm.
bleach those teeth, people. Just bleach the teeth. That's one of my biggest beauty tips, bleach those teeth. And not that I would ever do her. I am a but things can get yellowy, things can get kind of a dingy cast. You can lose that kind of vibrancy your eyes may have had before. But this is the magic of the right colors. The right colors bring out the color in your eyes, especially if it's what we call an eye popping color. And that's something we talk about in your color style. We don't just hand you a palette of colors, we tell you the best colors for certain things. Like these make your eyes pop, these are your best neutrals.
Yeah.
And when you're wearing the right colors, your eyes will take on that vibrancy. The whites of your eyes may look wider. Your
Yes.
teeth can
Yes.
look brighter. Your complexion can look clearer. And it really does make a difference as that color kind of reflects upon the face. So wearing the right colors is essential, especially as other things may be changing for us. And it's such a simple thing. It's not doing something extra. You're going to put on a shirt or a dress. Why not make it the right one? This is easy. This is not like going and getting a lip filler or some
Right.
Botox. This is something you're doing, and it's just exchanging a better choice for a not as great choice.
Yes. Yes.
Color
Color
purple.
is foundational to everything else that we are about to share next.
That's
So,
right.
okay, Gail, tell me, I know it. We just did a whole thing with Style Masters on patterns and choosing their most perfect prints to wear. So what about wearing patterns will age a person?
Woo, when those patterns are very dated, and one of the most matronly geriatric patterns out there are real flowers. And by that, I mean like roses, carnation. I'm not talking about when they're given a geometric or modern floral.
Right.
I'm talking about old school because gents, florals, all these beautiful modern florals, botanicals, tropicals, all that is very in. But if you come in with this polyester top with roses on it,
Mhm.
and it's a fine line. I get it. And people are out there, well, how am I supposed to know what that is? This is where having a stylist can be very helpful, or really studying patterns, because once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Yeah.
But I don't want people to stay away from patterns either. I think a lack of patterns um, shows that a kind of an insecurity sometimes. I know some people just don't love patterns as much as others. That's not what I mean. But a lot of women don't wear patterns because they haven't found the ones that work for them, that
Yeah.
express who they are. But some of these very realistic looking flowers of old timey type flowers like roses, the minute you put it on, it just
I
feels like you stole it off someone at bingo down at Shady Acres.
I think it kind of mimics almost like drapery fabric or an old-fashioned couch. That fabric that you're thinking of with those realistic florals that you might see in a very traditional home. It's kind of like that,
Kind
where
of
there's
those
so many
like
other beautiful choices.
tablecloths that people put plastic over. If it looks like that, if it's
I,
floral, if it's roses on top of roses, there's just something about those roses that really. Now, if you had a top and it had one big rose right in the center, that's a totally different dynamic. That is edgy, that's modern, that's artistic. And things can even be ditzy prints. Ditzy prints can actually look quite youthful because they've been so on trend, this whole cottage core thing that's been in. So that's not what we're talking about either. And it's just really important that you wear prints that are the appropriate size for your body and that work with your style, because it's when you get that mismatch going that you're not going to look put together. But those roses got to go. Give them back to whoever
You
you.
know, I'm thinking now of my grandmother from years ago, that she always wore, like she would dress up for our visit, right? And she would always wear this type of blouse. And what you're saying is exactly what's in my imagination of this very formal, mature type of feel that, I mean, yeah, she was an old lady, of course, but even so, if you are not ready to be seen as an old lady, then that's something that was probably in style back when she was much, much younger. That's to be fair, right? Like clothing and manufacturing has changed
At some
decades to
point.
decades with lots of access to lots of things where I'm sure back in her day, there was a little bit more limited choices. So, Definitely.
Do if you want to up your game and just, I'm not talking about not looking old here. I'm talking about looking a little more modern and on
A little
trend.
bit more how you feel, right? It's
Yeah.
not an
You
age
can
thing.
also take patterns. Like I'm an edgy style and I want to remain edgy. I want to be those people that they photograph, like those ladies on the streets of New York and
Mhm.
they have that whole Instagram account. I love these ladies. But some things you can do to make a print seem more modern or you just feel a little more youthful in a print is get something that has a twist on it, like a polka dot that's a little big instead
Mhm.
little pin dot because pin dot can look juvenile sometimes if you're not careful or instead of just stripes that are same size maybe they're different sizes or they're unique color combination. I know Lansing in last year had this beautiful two tops and one was like it was like a pink and a red stripe, which is a
I know
highly
exactly what you
unusual
mean. Yeah.
combination. And then they had one that was like a gray, blue, and a green combination. Those were so good because it was the unexpected twist on something that could have just been a plain stripe.
Yeah.
So unexpected color combination, plaids done differently, like a plaid with a metallic woven in, or some really bright color combinations to just our traditional plaids.
Right.
Now, let me also say some people may think that the what we call the oh god, the word just escaped me. Heritage patterns.
Uh,
Some may think those look old. And when we talk about heritage patterns, we're talking about things like glen plaid, herringbone,
mhm.
these tweeds and stuff. Those are classics. They never look old, but it is what you style them with because you can style them in ways that look old. Like if you just wear them the same old way they've always been worn, but we're seeing those patterns. They really came into vogue last winter, coming back because classic has had a very big classic has been it the last year or so. But they take, maybe Glen plaid, but it's got a stripe of lime in it, or, it's a herringbone, but it's got some metallic in it, or you're wearing it with something unexpected. And then another piece we've seen that could look geriatric, but it doesn't because of how they're doing it is lady jackets. Lady jackets is an old style. They're short, they're boxy, kind
Oh,
of the
yes.
Jackie O looking jacket.
Yes. Super
Sometimes
cute.
your sweater cardigans. But when something that's considered old is brought on trend, then it no longer feels old. And the manufacturers usually do it in fresh new ways. And we style it in new ways, like a lady jacket with denim jeans, or it's in unique colors again, or it's a really pretty pattern, or it's got like some of them have extra pockets on them, embellished buttons, and it really does change the look of that garment. And if you've got a lady jacket from the past, yeah, bring it out, but maybe bring it out and change the buttons up or wear it in a new and unique way. And that's how we reinvent pieces from the past.
Fun. So much fun.
I love, if you don't have any pattern, we need to talk. So
All right, Gail. Let's talk about
I'm
shoes.
going to make some people mad. I'm
You're
going to
gonna
make,
make some people mad. I'm feeling it.
it's
You're gonna
okay.
make me mad, but I already can feel it. Go
And
for it.
here's good news. I see women give up on shoes because of foot pain,
Oh, sure.
bunions, foot spread. Maybe they need a wide. But
Mm.
y'all, we have more choices than ever right now. And brands and retailers are taking note. Women in middle age have the disposable income and we will pay for the good stuff. So there are entire brands built around accommodating your bunions, your comfort
Yeah.
level. But some of you are settling. You're settling for the orthopedic shoe that you can spot from across the department store, and it's killing your outfit. It's killing your look. There are so many cute options in flats, low heels, um, wide toe boxes. In fact, the Mary Jane trend can be great, especially if you're a person that doesn't want to wrestle to keep your shoe on. Super comfy.
I wonder, you tell me what you think of this, Gail. So, like, I mean, what about just like some really, really cute sneakers and that are like
All them ladies.
like good quality, but not, they've
Yeah.
got fun patterns and prints and colors on them.
100% because like
Yeah.
the last 2 years maybe going on. What I call city sneakers have really been in.
Love them.
And that's what I call my sneakers that I wear for fashion. They're not what I wear to play pickleball or walk or run, whatever you do. They are specifically to go with outfits. And one of the main things I wear them with are dresses. And some of my clients are like, I don't know. I don't know. Trust me. So I have like a pink suede Adidas. I have a silver
Yes.
pony. They're just very cute. They're usually a vivid color, a pattern, or metallic. And they are so great, especially if you're bopping around town doing errands. I mean,
Yeah.
I wear now I wear tennis shoes more than I ever have. I don't even wear socks with them. I just slide them on and go. They can be worn with skirts, pants, shorts, jeans, dresses, you name it. And those of you commuting into the city, they're a great option to put on and run into the office.
Yeah. And you know what? I know because of a few influencers out there, there are orthopedic based like foundational sneakers, but they are styled with like stars and colors and so you have the comfort and you have the style. And I would agree, honestly, you can wear sneakers with anything. And here's my tip to you and Gail, I think you will agree that if you put an outfit together and you put sneakers on and you walk out the door, uh it you just have the mindset of this works. This is what I'm wearing. I like
Oh,
it. And honestly,
wear
no
that.
one's gonna
There's a little spring in my step. I feel cute and preppy and
leave it at that. Like
ready to go.
it works because I say so. I was wearing something the other day, and my husband Joe goes, does that go?" I go, "Yes, it does, because I said so." And he's like, "Oh, okay."
It's Joe. Oh, Joe, take a seat. Take a seat. I'll take this handle with Jen. But too, in shoes in general, this is something people have to understand. Shoes change quite frequently as far as what's on trend and what's not. And outdated shoes can ruin the look of your outfit. Um, and what makes something dated or outdated are going to be details, heel height, heel shape. Like blocky heels will be in for a while, and then kitten heels. Kitten heels have been all the rage lately. Wedges will be in, and then wedges will be out. And I know some of you are going, I don't care what's out. I'm going to wear what I want. Good, do. But you do run the risk when you wear out of date shoes
Yeah.
of looking more older and just kind of not with it. Knowing what the latest shoe trend is, even if you don't want to go buy a whole new wardrobe, if you pop on a new pair of really cool, trendy shoes, some great color, you can take a whole outfit and ramp it up a little bit. You can take that outfit from a 6 to a 9 just by adding a great pair of
And
shoes.
like you said, it literally gives you a little spring in your step.
It
Just look
does.
cute.
And
Put on a top that's your best color, put on some nice fitting pants and your cute ass shoes, and you're ready to go.
afraid of cute shoes, colorful shoes. You can really make an expression. Some of you may not be able to buy a whole new wardrobe, or you're afraid of a lot of color on your body. Put it on your shoe.
Yeah,
Just happen.
fun. Come on.
Yay.
All right. We're
One of my
coming back
favorites.
around a little bit to color, but a little bit more than that. So, Gail, tell us, because you are the expert in makeup,
I try.
what do ladies do that tends to age them?
Oh my gosh, this is such a big thing and it's so easily fixed. I run into women who will say things like, I've been wearing this foundation for 18 years. I'm like, they're using the same cleanser they used in college. Our skin changes, ladies, and the needs our skin, even if nothing in the industry changed, our skin changes. So our needs are not the same. That's first and foremost. Our coloring is likely not the same. Sun damage and just getting older, my skin on my face is actually a little darker than it used to be. It's weird, but it's true. And then we throw in the changes in the industry, y'all. New skincare products, new makeup products come out at the speed of light lately. I mean, I'm dumbfounded at technology lately and what they've come up with and what is being produced and put out. And it's at all price points. It used to be when something was the latest and greatest, it was only at an expensive price point, but that's not true because we have some great brands out there like the Inky List, the Ordinary, Bioma, that are doing La Roche-Posay, just doing great skincare at a low price point. So giving our skin what it wants and needs, taking care of our skin barrier, We're coming out of season where people over exfoliated because we were told to use those rotating brushes and harsh grains and then a chemical exfoliant. And we really exfoliate our skin barrier right off our face. And I know mine was damaged. One day I woke up and I'm like, it looks something's off here. And I figured out what it was. And I've been repairing my barrier. And I feel like at 58, other than the sun damage, my skin is looking good. It is juicy, it is plumpy, and I just lost a considerable amount of weight. And it's still, I mean, we got some issues, but we're still doing pretty good because this is just a CC cream. And so trying some of the new technology can really help because people used to say, oh, it really doesn't do anything. And face in the old days, the only thing we had for aging was more moisture on the face, but that's not true. We're living in a season of acids, peptides, growth factor. That's one of the newest polysaccharides. I mean, it is just so good. And so, like recently, I added a milky toner. I'm obsessed. An Ectoin serum, obsessed. What it did for the texture on my face. I mean, Jen, look how you know me. Look how clear this is looking. I mean, it's so much better.
Yeah.
I fight rosacea. For those of you who don't know, and I have the pustular rosacea, so I'm prone to breakouts through here, and they're real. They have a lot of texture to them. They're real bumpy, and they're hard to. I mean, look at that. We're going.
So big takeaway here before you keep going. I just used to, and this is something that a lot of people don't tell us, or we really don't really learn from anyone unless you're talking to an expert, is to really take care of that foundation of your skin, that barrier. We just aren't told that. We're told about color, we're told about the makeup piece, but no one talks about the actual real true care of your skin so that it's healthy before you do anything else with it. So I think it's really valuable.
We do have estheticians now that kind of slide in there between the women on the street and a dermatologist. And estheticians can be great to go get services done, but face it, we are not going to do that every day. The good thing is we can take really good care of our skin at home, and we can do it on a budget. I mean, there's so many great budget products out there. Like the cleansing cream I use is Garnier Fructis.
Yeah.
I'm in my double cleanse era, and my skin absolutely loves that, getting all that makeup off and then cleaning our face. But as far as aging, we have to realize our skin is different. It can sometimes become more sensitive, especially in midlife. We may experience adult acne and rosacea, usually for some reason decides to go burm off the charts when you get to midlife. Which you think, what is wrong with my skin? We can also have problems with our skin barrier. If we've wrecked that, we're going to have sometimes a little more thin skin as our collagen production wanes. We also are typically less oily. And so, like for me, I've had to back away from my super oil controlling stuff to more of a mid zone. Same thing with my foundation. I used to wear matte of the matte. And now I'm more to what we call a satin finish, which is kind of a new category in foundations. And it's between that, because in the past it was you're either matte or you're dewy, creamy, juicy.
Right.
There's a whole new lane right there. And you may hear it called natural finish or satin finish. Great choice for those of us who've been combination or oily, but now we're getting a little older. Also, we've come a long way in like lip treatments. Lip treatments are trending and raging, and keeping your lips looking luscious is a great way to look beautiful at your age, because as we age, our lips can get a little dry and wrinkly. And as gravity pulls down on our face, our lips don't actually shrink, y'all. What happens is they kind of roll inward like this. That's what's actually happening. So keeping them plump and hydrated can really make you look young, fresh, healthy. And that's what we want. We're not trying to look like we're 20. We just want to look our best at this age. Also, we have this new, I mean, I can go down this. Cream products are back. And I used to avoid creams like the plague, being a combination girl. But this is a whole new generation. And there's creams, there's cream to powders, there's serums, in everything, cheek colors, highlighters, bronzers, and they give the skin a beautiful glow that powders simply can't. So like if you always feel like your bronzer, and if you're not using bronzer, you probably should. If your contour, your cheek color is just kind of floating, cream products will really sit. Like if you see mine, it looks like it's just blending into my skin. Like it looks like it's part of my skin. That's the beauty of these new generations products and the tools to apply them with. We had more brushes, sponges, and all that than ever. And
So
then
I
they
mean, so I mean, there's a ton and ton we can go down. But I mean, we Gail, we can have a whole episode of makeup of new
we
makeup.
should. We should.
But even so, all the things that you're listing, what problem is it solving that is aging, potentially aging our
Basically, the biggest thing is not changing up your routine, doing what you've done for 20 years and thinking that still works for you. And these new products, like I had to change to some glowier products. I had to get a little bit of more moisture on my face, a little more hydration, some hyaluronic acid, some things that kind of brought my skin back to life because we grow up and when we're young, we're taught no oil. No one can see the oil. We powdered, we did all the things, but as we age, a little bit of glow will make us look more healthy, more alert, more alive. And let me just give a plug for one more thing that's also we've had a big change in is primers and finishing sprays. We had foundation primer for a long time, but it was just one thing. It was made to make your makeup stick. Now we have primers that give hydration. We give a glow underneath your makeup. We have finishing sprays that are matte, that are dewy, that are shimmery. It's all out there. And also, brow products have come a long way, and your brows are something we lose as we age. They discolor, they become gray, they become thin. And just a little bit of there's little brow gels with a little color if you've still got hair, but you don't like the color, you've just got a few grays popping in. And then we've got these great, really fine um, brow liners that allow you to make little thin, but here's how you find out what you need. You get a makeup analysis
I was
from your
gonna say.
style because I do cover some skincare tips for you in that and make some personal product recommendations based on your budget and your needs. And that's what really matters. What are your needs and what is your budget?
Exactly. So just to plug that one a little bit more. So Gail, as you can tell, she loves makeup. She could talk about it literally for the rest of this podcast, which is why I'm like, we need to kind of move on to the next thing.
Right
But
or in. Right or
what I
in.
want you guys, everyone to listen, that's listening to know that she's been doing makeup for 25 plus years. She's an expert, and like when I say expert, like, oh my gosh, she's like the faces that I've seen after she's done a makeup analysis is just like transformative. So just so if you're interested, if you're listening, you're like, I want to learn more. If you go to our website, go to services, you'll see makeup analysis. And I will tell you that the one thing that Gil didn't mention that could definitely aid you is having the absolute wrong foundation color. So she's talking about skincare, which don't get me wrong, 100%. She has improved my skin overall by all the things that I've learned from her. But just wearing foundation that's too dark, too dry, it goes into the cracks, not understanding primer, not understanding the right blush color or the right lip color to go along with it can absolutely age you. And I'm telling you, this makeup analysis breaks it down to all those colors. Plus, she gives you like links to products that she loves. She can't help herself. I've tried to tell her to stop doing that, and she does it anyway. So yeah, if you're kind of lost on what you should be wearing, what you should be doing, just honestly, it's totally worth the investment. Just check it out.
Not
Absolutely.
a big investment, I don't
Mic
think.
drop. So it's not a big investment at all. It's one of
Love
the
our
least
lower
expensive
end.
services we offer. Yes.
Man,
So
I do keep those people in my pocket. And when there's something new to share, like last night, everybody who's had a makeup
yeah,
analysis with me before, they got my catalog for the Sephora sale and the Ulta haul. So
yeah. Yeah, no. So anyways, I know we're like super promotion right now on that one, but I mean seriously, like it is just worth talking about. So
and
makeup
it's so fun because
analysis.
if you listen to me talk about anything, you know I'm about transformation. And I've been watching makeover since I was a very little girl watching them with my mom on Phil Donahue show. I love a makeover. And I love this is not about you looking like anything other than you. But I did God did give me the ability to see your beauty sometimes in a way you don't see it. And that's why I can't wait to get my hands on some of you because oh my gosh, she is not doing herself any justice. And it's not about covering up your face. I mean, today I've got
No.
minimal, and I teach my clients to do this. A 5 minute face can be amazing. It's just better than nothing. So we teach it all over there. Jen, moving on to the next category.
Okay, this one's a good one. It's a big one. Hair. So let's talk. There's two different things that can age you, ladies, with your hair. One is your color and one is your style. So I would like to just briefly talk about the color because it's going to be almost the same. I'm like a broken record when it comes to this stuff, right? So how many times,
We
Gail,
harp on
have
this all
we
day.
seen a customer come to us who is lovely and she's going gray and she thinks the way for her to fix it is to highlight her hair blonde and now she's brassy. It's too warm for her natural coloring.
Makes me
And
cry.
honestly, it doesn't make you look youthful when you do that. I know that youth is
Well,
associated with
it's not
blonde and I get
never.
that.
Where did that come from?
I don't know, but I mean, a lot of children, when we're young, right? Our hair's lighter. I guess blonde is associated with youth,
Everyone.
but this does not make you look younger. In fact, one of our clients actually said it beautifully. I don't want to look like the old lady who colors her hair. And there's a lot of truth and a little bit of pain to that statement. So we get so many women well-meaning that come in and they bleach their hair and it gets all brassy and the texture is all wrong. And I know that you're going gray and that might be upsetting, but you don't need to go blonde. Just work with your stylist within your color type,
That's
and stay within that color type and don't go so radically in the wrong direction. Now, even people who have warm undertones and they bleach their hair too much, it's too much.
too
Stay
light
with
removes
your
this
square.
contrast and it
Yes.
removes a frame for your face.
Yes.
And we can benefit because people think, oh, if your hair's darker, it's going to make you look older. Not always. Now, if it's Loretta Lynn black, now it's time to back off that, girls. My hair is not black. I'm a level 3. I know y'all think this is very dark, but this is a 3. And
Very
it's a
dark.
3 neutral. If I was on 1 or 2, it would be like the color of a black marble. And y'all, I'm completely gray, but I have two choices because I'm a bright, cool deep. My hair can be this color or it can be platinum blonde or gray. Those are really the only colors that are going to be appropriate for my color type. I know that sounds odd, but here's what happens. If you lighten your hair goes warm because hair, except for very rare exceptions, if you really look at it in the light under a magnifying glass, hair is warm toned. It just is by its nature. And so when you lighten it, those warm tones come out. That's why when you first go to the salon and they start to put in highlights, you start to see orange come out. And to get it cool, they typically tone back over. But what happens is before your next appointment, the toner often fades off and you're back to warm. So it's very hard to keep lightened hair cool. That's why it's difficult. And
Yes.
that's why people have such trouble with it. Now, here's some things I'm going to tell you. You don't have to keep yours colored the color always was. Some of us prefer it, some of us is just who we are. I will be this until I'm not. And then when you see me, it will be the complete opposite. Jen has been going through a process of growing out some very yellowy blonde.
Yeah.
And I think you look so much more harmonious. Like,
Yeah, I agree. And yes, I know I should know better, but just like everybody else, right? I mean, like, so you can see on the video, if your listeners go check us out on YouTube, I'm still very, very light. My hair has come in and it is a very light golden brown, and you can kind of see a little bit of the highlighting left. So going blonde was not outrageous for me. I started highlighting when I was turned 40 because that's how long I was blonde. So it's not like I have really dark hair and I was trying to be something different. I just got used to being blonde. And as I hair darkened up, which I thought was super dark, and as you can see, it's not, I kept doing that. But the thing is that if you are highlighting your hair on a regular basis, after a while, you lose all your dark tones and you start to go flatter and flatter, and you stop seeing it because you see yourself gradually over time. Gail, at one point, was like, Jen, you need to start getting your hair darker. It's getting too flat, it's getting too blonde. And I didn't see it. And so I saw photos from my Northern Europe trip with Joe a couple years ago, and it was so blonde. It had gone so blonde that I never even saw it until I saw those photos. And I'm like, oh. So when I started growing it out, it felt radical because everything's relative, right? When you compare very, very, very bright blonde to my natural, it made my hair look like it was going to be so much darker. And I
yeah.
struggled with this. This is your identity, right? I identified myself a certain way, and now it's darker. But now look, it's perfectly natural. It's actually in this light you can't really see, but I actually really, really love it. And it's still
I
way.
love the gradation of the color from the dark root to the ends just being a little lighter. It looks very
I
natural.
think it's actually pretty natural, to be honest with you. I,
That's the way the
I
sun would lighten your hair.
Yeah, and
That's
I have like these gray streaks now. You can't really see on video, but if you saw me in person, you'd see them. And I'm kind of
so
digging it
proud of you
now.
because it was a tough grow out and you were very courageous to do it.
And
So
and I saw cut, so now it's like, this is all natural now. And you were 100% right. You brought me back into harmony because my eyebrows have never been light. They've always been this dark. So everything really works well. So there is a lot to be said about going natural. So as much as we were kind of saying, don't do this when you color your hair, there's also the choice of just let your hair be. Just let your hair be. And I know some of you are so resistant to that. You're like, well, I have these grays, so I need to color them. But and Gail and
I
I disagree a little bit
remember,
on this,
I
and I
remember
get it. But I actually think just let it go. Just let it be.
you saw
Because
me letting mine go. I tried it during COVID.
yeah,
It
well,
was
yours is a radical change though. And I'm just saying for those who are just
radical.
going gray
Also,
now.
my gray has a different texture.
Yeah.
And that's the thing people don't realize. Gray hair can be totally different than the hair you've had. It can become kinky, it can become wiry, it can become really straight. Like I've had curly hair all my life, and my hair's straighter than it used to be. So talk to a good stylist that specializes in color.
Yeah.
And one way you can do that is find a salon where the colorist and the cutters, the stylist are different. Out in Texas, I saw that dynamic a lot. That especially if you go to a what is it? Something in Guy. I can't think of the name
I
now.
don't know. You're asking the wrong person.
That was their business model, so that their colorists were specialists in color and focused on that all day
Yeah.
long. And the people who cut and style were specialists in what they do, not to be confused. Because y'all, sometimes stylists just want to do what they want
Yeah.
and they become so accustomed to making people blonde. That's one of the biggest things I've done for probably more of my clients than any other one thing is help them change their hair color. And sometimes it's a subtle change, sometimes it's a drastic change. But here's some other tips for somewhere in the middle zone. Like I have a client who has been blonde and she's a very warm gal, but she's going gray, and that gray felt a little cool for her and was causing a lot of conflict. So for her, she didn't want to go back to a permanent dye. But what I recommended for her was a tint, like a shampoo. They sell conditioners now that are just a temporary rinse that kind of give it a little tonality back, just put a little of that warmth back. It's not permanent, it's not high maintenance, it's not a big commitment, it's inexpensive. So if you're feeling that way, there's some things like that you can do. You can also have color put back in a highlighted kind of fashion, highlights or low lights, where in the gray you go back and put in some of the warmer blonde or some of a deeper tone, and you can manipulate to feel cooler or warmer if that's causing you to feel in disharmony. And we've had a lot of success with just these little tricks. But Jen is absolutely right. If you get highlight upon highlight, y'all do realize when they're picking out the highlights, they're not picking out the same hairs.
Yeah.
So I've had clients that I say, why are we wearing our hair this color? And I smile and I say it. I say, well, I just started getting highlights and this is where I wound up. And now they have a whole head full of blonde hair because no one low lighted them, which is putting the dark colors back. And it's what will happen. But there's solutions out there. And having your hair color be right for your color type, especially warm or cool, you can play a little bit within your temperature. I've gone a little lighter, going a little deeper. Like I had a client who she's warm and she added a little more red to her hair than is what's natural. It was
Sure.
beautiful because
Yeah.
she stayed in her lane. She kept it warm. She kept it mid-tone. It was all right in where she needs to be. So we can change things and we can have fun with our hair.
So I
But
want to get my sip up for 1 second leading into the next topic. So here's this. I fundamentally believe that if you wanted to just let your hair be gray and go gray naturally, I don't believe that's what makes you look older. I know it feels like you're going to be seen as older because we associate gray hair with older ladies and older people. But I don't think it's the gray that makes a person look old and be seen as old. I really don't believe that. I believe if you are all natural and that is your hair, whatever it is, the blend, it's white, it's a gorgeous silver, it's all those things, and that's who you are. That is not what's making you old. What's making you seem older and appear older is your personal mindset about yourself and your haircut. How
Haircut.
many times, Gail, have we seen beautiful women that have perfectly natural hair, but they have it way long, like back when they probably had long hair since they were 20 years old, down to their waist. And although that's super fun to be able to have long hair, that is not going to, it's just going to drag you down. It's not going to lift you up.
Well, our hair changes as we age. For the vast majority of us, it thins. And so
Hmm.
you may need a different hairstyle. I mean, I'm not even going to turn to the side and show you how thin my sides are because I also need a color touch up. But and my weight loss has caused some thinning. But you may need a haircut that is better for your even your texture changes. So your
Yes.
texture, your hair density, and your gray whatever you decide to do about that. Because you also may notice when you stop coloring your hair, it may have a little less texture because color damages your hair and damages keeps it open, the shaft, the little fibers, what do you call them, open. And that makes it feel sometimes thicker and have a little more texture to it. And so your hair, when you go natural, may feel very slick and hard to hold curl and things like that. That's okay. Get a stylist who really knows what she's doing because when you have that beautiful gray hair and you have a cute modern cut, it will look way more fresh and
Yes.
beautiful on you than if you just keep wearing the same old cut. There's also cuts that can help you with growing it out to kind of camouflage. There are cuts that really help with our changing face structure because we do sometimes we lose volume in our face, our eye sockets change, our lips can thin, and you may need to change up for the changing shape of your face and what's going on there. So a gray haircut, especially if it feels modern. It feels a little trendy. I know people don't like that word trendy. I like it. I'm just going to say it. I like trendy. I'm that girl. I want to be on trend. It can make you feel fresh
Yes.
and youthful and kind of like yourself. And change is good, y'all. Some of you are holding on to the same just for the same.
If you're still doing
Get
your hair the
up.
same as you did in the 80s, and I know there are a few of you out there still that want those puffy bangs and still want to hold their hair up in little barrettes. Oh, please just stop it. Just stop it right now. Just go simple. Like this is simple.
Mm,
And good news, it's on trend. So I'm feeling pretty good about
yeah.
myself. But I mean, it's simple.
Again, there's a
I
lot of
think,
products to help our hair. Like we have products that have these filling capabilities because as our hair becomes more porous and damaged, there's these new products you can look at like K18, Garnier Fructis has a line. There's several that have lines that come in and fill in that porosity of the hair.
yeah, I use that all the time.
If your hair is feeling tangly, it just feels like mine just didn't feel like it had the same texture it used to have. It felt like it was damaged and dried out.
Yeah,
These products can really help
yeah.
and restore it back to hair that feels more healthy and in good shape is what we're looking for. But again, the products are out there. They're out there. Just got to experiment, explore. The shampoo that worked for you for 20 years when your hair was super oily and
Yeah, it
young.
doesn't work now. No
No,
way.
now
No way. And I didn't really feel that until I hit 50. And then I had to change all of my hair products because all of a sudden everything was drying my hair out and it was making it brittle and it was just looking terrible. Okay, so far to help you lift you up and look your best. So far we have wear your best colors. Avoid those weird geriatric patterns that you have no business in your closet. Wearing the right makeup and a really beautiful haircut right there. Bam, transformation.
and
Okay,
one
so
more word on that wrong color. Some of you think because you're aging, you need to tone it down. Some of
no,
you need to
I don't think
ramp
so.
it up. Some
Yeah.
of you need more color as you age, as color dissipates from other parts of your body. And people seem to want to become shrinking violets. They'll say, I don't know if I should wear a bold color like that at my age. I'm thinking you should exactly wear it. When you get old, you kind of get a pass if you
I
do something
agree.
outrageous. Who's going
Sure.
to mess with us? We're Gen X. Who's going to mess with us? So do the bold, do the outrageous. Don't quit wearing color. Don't become a shrinking violet. Color is absolutely appropriate all day,
I
every
agree. 100%.
day.
Okay.
Okay. One thing that can really age you, Jen, and I know this is a thing for you, is ill-fitting clothes.
Oh man, you know what? And I think the last two topics, because so we don't like go on from their half hour, actually kind of go together. So
We have three.
I'm gonna, what?
We have
Well,
three.
yes, we do. But the
We
last,
talk about them together.
yeah, I think we can talk about them together. And here's what I'm gonna say. We talked a lot about color and hair and makeup and all that kind of things, but the clothes that you put on your body, clothes that are too snug or clothes that are too big,
Short.
clothes that yank up your crotch weird because you're wearing high-waisted and you shouldn't be wearing all of those ill-fitting clothes will absolutely age you. It will age you outside of everything else that we have just talked about. Like wear clothes that are your size and that flatter your shape.
No,
And I know
size
that
is
seems like
just
such
a
a simple
number.
statement, but it really is. Like if you're a little heavier now and you need a bigger size, then just get the bigger size.
Bigger size.
Get it. Who
I will
cares?
say, because I do the styling, I have a lot of women who've gained a little weight, but they gained it all in one little place, their tummy.
Yep.
Their legs
The
stayed the
middle
same
age.
size, the hips stayed the same size, but they have this little pooch.
Yep.
So this means the brands and shapes that once fit you well may not be as good. Even going up a size in those may not always give you the answer
Right.
without tailoring the rest of the garment. So you may have to try a curvier fit. You may have to try a different brand in your favorite jean. You may have to change up the rise to a higher rise. There's all kind of things you can do to get a good fit. Some of you are just, I hear it. This is a pain point, Jen.
It is.
Who have been thin their entire life now have a little pooch and it destroys them. I've been fluffy, girl. It don't destroy me. But when you've always had that great body, it's just like when you've always been very pretty and now there's wrinkles on your face. For some women, this can be very devastating, especially if you've a woman that has been known for being beautiful or known for your shape, and that's kind of been your identity and how other people looked at you. It can really shake your core because you start to feel like you're not yourself, you're not who you used to be, you're not what's expected. But getting the right fit, and here once again, the retailers are listening to us because we have the money and we do the shopping in our homes. The clothes are out there. The clothes are out
They,
there.
they are. And I it I mean, yes, hitting middle age, that 50 plus, your body does things that I always thought about and heard about, but now I'm like, oh, I'm doing pretty well. I'm doing pretty great. I've had three kids, but I've still got it. And I do still got it. But I can tell you, I got it just differently because middle age puts your weight on in different ways that you just did
Yeah.
not think was ever going to
Your
happen to
breasts are
you.
lower. You've got this little bulge. I just lost this weight and my butt fell off. And a lot of people who are doing big weight loss right now are noticing that they still got a little bit of tummy, but their butt fell off. So I got to do something about that. Some exercise. But tying into this, another thing people overlook is updating their bras. If
Yes.
you are over 40, do not go to Victoria's Secret. I always tell my clients if they're selling clothes that have words across the butt, it's the wrong store for you if you're Gen X. It just is. And why this matters, it's the cut, the fit, and the sizing of those undergarments. They're not made for your body, they're made for 20-year-olds. Get over to Soma, get to Breakout Bras, get with a personal fitter, get into the brands like Freya and these higher end European brands. Like I wear an underwire that comes up to my throat. I mean, it's like having somebody's hand over here holding my breast up in from underneath my arm. But here's why that matters. When we gain a little in that tummy and then we've got our breasts going downward, we wind up with a big midsection. We need to get the breast up where they go. And where they go is in the darts, ladies. The darts on the top, that falls into fit. The boobs have to go in the darts or you're going to look odd. And I see women going on the street and their boobs are just sitting on their stomach. And I'm like, sweetie, if we can just bring those girls back up and you stand up nice and straight and we put you on a nice wrap dress, now you have breast and stomach instead of one thing. Those little details. Oh, so many times I just want to run over and go, honey, honey, with the boobs. Or I can see their boobs rattling around in their bra. They're not, the bra doesn't fit the boob. You can see the bra and the boob separately.
Yes.
Or if you're trying to wear one of these bras that you can tell the strap is just about to blow because the girls are jiggly, y'all. They're heavy. There's more flesh and skin. And these little tiny non-sportive bras, they're just crying. They're crying.
I will speak to the small-breasted ladies because I am one of them, and I will say that good fitting bra still matters so,
Yeah.
so much because I was blinded by what the size I used to be, which wasn't like I was like a C cup until I had 3 kids, and then I don't know what happens to your body after pregnancy, but literally it's unkind. Nevertheless, I still kept buying and wearing C cup bras. And it wasn't until my daughter, when I was helping her get fitted, because she's much larger chested than I am, but she was like, Mom, you should get fitted too, because your bras aren't fitting right. I'm like, oh, really? You don't think, do you, like, it is like night and day. Now, I granted my
Yeah.
bras are very
You will
small.
feel
They're very
better.
small, but they fit,
Better.
everything fits.
And they're more comfortable when you're not falling over the top, when you're not pinched on the side, when you're not coming out the bottom, when you don't have back fat rolling over. You're going to be more comfortable.
Right.
Now, is this bra going to be tight at first? Yes. Is it going to cost you some money? Yes. But it is worth it. It will
Yes.
change everything.
It changes everything. Your whole silhouette changes because, yeah, I have a smaller cup, but everything fits nicely. I don't have this weird, like you said, empty shell on me that looked a little weird. Like it's all, so it doesn't matter really what your size is. Just
Bra
get
I wear
fitted and wear it.
makes my boobs be in front. It literally, the underwear pulls them out from underneath my arm. And here's the thing, too. We have a lot of flesh and skin right here. And when that gets all poked up into your bra, your breasts actually look larger because of the skin. So help yourself. Help yourself. But we talk about denim.
Well, you know what? The bra was a totally unexpected thing. So that was a good tip for everyone out there. Thank you for that. All right, let's talk about denim because this is Gail. Little
denim.
soapbox Gail, go for it.
It's kind of like shoes and hair. Those are three things. Your denim choice, your shoes, and your hair will quickly give you away on age, coolness factor, and what you know about style. Because when you're wearing denim, that is not the current trend. And I know I said the word again, so kill me. I'm a stylist. I love trends. But outdated denim makes you look old. Remember when people used to refer to mom jeans? And they refer to it in a negative way. That's what they were saying. You're wearing the old style jeans that look like an old mom. Mom jeans are actually in. They're about to go back out. They're starting to wane. But knowing the latest cut in denim that also works for your body, winner.
Definitely.
You will look fresh. You will look modern. You will look stylish. And having that right fit for your current body, not your body when you're 30, makes a big difference. If y'all are still trying to wear those low cut things and you got the midlife pooch coming over, I don't care what you're telling yourself about that waist size that's down on your hip. That ain't your waist size. Get the right size.
There are retailers that that maybe you avoid because they definitely cater more for the older crowd, but there is some retailers that have really well-fitting jeans that are on trend for that year or 2 years, and they are designed for us ladies who have a little extra now in the middle. It's not, they're not trying to make you look 20. They're trying to make you look really, really stylish right now.
There's some that have support, like Evolution from
pull you in a little bit. I like those.
There's in Not Your Daughter's Jean has this new flexi band. I wear a style from Levi's that has just a little bit of stretch, not much, but just enough to be comfortable and accommodating. And we know as midlifers, we're going to be comfortable because we,
One of the brands that I wear is Spanx. Spanx
yes,
has great jeans. I mean, and by
expensive,
the way, we are
great.
not affiliated with these. It's not like I'm getting some kind of kickback on this. I'm just letting you know what we wear. Like Spanx, I love it because there's no like obvious brand about them. They fit so well. I get compliments all the time. They're like, oh, wow, I like those jeans. And I'm like, they're Spanx.
One of my
Like,
favorite brands is Cut from the Cloth, Cut with a K, because they are a curvier brand and a longer brand. No matter what their website says, add 2 inches to the length because they just run long. I'm a tall girl, so I appreciate that. There's also some that have inner supports. I think that's what the Spanx does, has like an inner.
they do, but it's designed to like you gotta do a little wiggle because there's no zippers and buttons. They do that so it's a nice clean fit because zippers can add bulk to your tummy and whatever. So it just you gotta wiggle them in. But when they do, everything gets held in and lifts your butt up. The pockets are nice and high. It just gives you a really beautiful shape, regardless of what your shape is. I mean, it's designed so that if you're curvier,
Those
you
pants, make sure you got some panties that are meant for midlife women too, because as we become a little juicier and fleshier in the buttocks, things are a little loose back
yeah.
there. That
Mm,
panty that was great a few years ago may now be cutting into the skin and causing panty lines, even though it was great 10 years ago.
yeah.
So reassess that, check that booty from behind. There are great brands out there helping you with support, with a little booty lift, with vanishing edges. They're out there. But
Definitely.
we have to finish on this one as far as your choices is don't make boring choices just because you're aging. This
I
is a
agree.
time to live it up. You're not in high school. What's somebody gonna make fun of you at recess? No.
I, Gail, one of the things that we did not mention because I don't think either one of us believe this is that I've heard this before though, that there's this myth that you shouldn't dress too young. Now, obviously, you're not going to be wearing little baby girl dresses. Okay, fine. But really, you can't wear a graphic tee because you think it's cool. Like, why can't you do
If
that? Like,
it's in
you know what I'm
young
saying? Like,
and modern,
right.
I want to look modern and fresh. I do not want to look like I'm trying to dress like a 17-year-old with a crop
Exactly. Don't do
spaghetti
that.
straps,
Stay like
which if you're in midlife, spaghetti strap, that's a no. There's not a spaghetti strap in the world that's not going to eat into our flesh or hold up the girls. It looks out of place and juvenile. But looking modern and cool is very different than trying to dress too young for us
I
because that
agree.
will make you look like you're trying too hard. This is more an effortless cool. Take a fashion risk. Don't make the risk be the skirt's too short or something, but take a risk with color, take a risk with print, get a funky shoe, layer things up with a sneaker, a jacket, a graphic tee,
Yeah.
and some statement earrings. If that's not you, do it in a different way. Do those heritage classic fabrics, but throw something special in there like your best color.
I know your best colors.
It can be a very mild mannered outfit, but there's something special about it when you throw in a signature color. Like maybe you're wearing a lot of tweed and camel and that, but throw in a aqua or turquoise shell or a turquoise shoe or something. Give it a pop. Stay within your personality, but really live out who you are on the inside, on the outside.
I love that. That's perfect. We should just end there. That was a mic drop.
That's what I want for my girls. My little style they're like my little girl, my babies. I just want them expressing themselves like they feel. I want them to be true because we've come out of a season once you get to midlife, usually of being told a lot of things about what you are, who you have to be. You
Yep.
have these roles and identities as a parent, as an employee, as a probably a wife or a partner, a friend. We've been told all these things, and when you get to midlife and menopause, you enter your don't give up phase, and you can really go back and figure out who you are. And part of the beauty of that is expressing it on the outside.
Yes, exactly. That is all about what all these episodes that you're listening to, all three to four the listeners.
All right,
It's
there's four
literally
now.
that is our goal. Ultimately, we talk about all the little things because there's a lot of little steps in the journey. But in general, We want you to be able to walk out that door and in the simplest of outfits or the most extravagant, whatever is you, and just feel like I feel like me. I feel good.
Confident,
All right. Let's do
authentic,
this.
proud, fun. You just feel good.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if
That's what
it's
we want.
a t-shirt, dress, and sneakers and a pair of earrings, I feel like 100% myself when I go out and that. That's my go-to
Exactly.
uniform. So find yours. If you need help, we're here. Otherwise, just institute a few of these tips
Yeah,
and come back and comment on how it went for you.
please
And
do.
until next time, go and get your Moxie on. Bye now.
Bye.